Welcome to your Daily Revolution podcast. Today's topic, admit it when you are wrong. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Let's go! This is your daily revolution. Live in prosperity, we show you how to do it. There's no luck about it, we got the strategic blueprint.
What up, my friends? So good to be with you guys. I'm shooting the podcast from the Show Me State out here in Missouri. I visited my in-laws. We took a road trip up from Florida and getting ready to head out to Utah for the summer and back and forth with family reunions and whatnot. But I'll tell you what, man, I just want to say thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Thank you for being part of my world. Thank you for everything that you guys are doing for me, because I promise you, the movement of prosperity, this movement of becoming the greatest version of you, this movement of unleashing and unlocking and tapping into the greatest piece of who you were meant to be, it's coming. It's a wave unlike anything else. And when people hear the message and people feel it, it resonates because they know, golly, this is true. Like, I want to be a better human being. I want to be in better shape. I want to be more aligned spiritually. I want to show up for my family. I just want to be a better human being and really live the thing that I'm supposed to live. So if the podcast is making a difference for you, here is my one ask of you. Just share it with someone. Would you share it with someone? Just share the podcast. Let me know you're listening. Take a screenshot and tag me and forward it on to someone who could really benefit. All right, let's dive into this. So this is kind of going off of the last podcast about Texas. And there's a piece of me that was somewhat irritated. I'll be real. It's pretty irritated. Like when people want to say things like, let's pray for Texas and this. I'm like, and there's a piece of me that was kind of like, come on, man. Like, we're going to go down this path again. Pray for people over there. We're going to go down this path. Everyone wants to talk about what happened in Texas, and as if it didn't make a difference. Like, I'll just admit it. Like, there was a piece of me when I shot the podcast that was just a little bit off. I was a little bit not quite grounded, and I can admit it because here's what I know to be true. Right? I was wrong, and I'm okay to admit, like, I went down the wrong path, and maybe my perspective was skewed or lacking. And guys, if you make a mistake or you say something that's off, don't have pride and ego about it. Just take a step back and say, I misspoke, or I misstepped, or I wasn't accurate, and I was irresponsible in my comments. Just be cool about it and move on. Well, here's what I do know. It is okay to pray for people if you believe that prayer works. It is okay to want change, even though you might not be able to make the change directly. It is okay to post about it because, like, if that's what helps you to cope and to deal with and to feel like you're doing something different, it's okay. And it's okay to love having guns. It's okay about that. I know there's a group of people in the social media comments that just continues to flood my feeds and some of the things that I've commented on. And so you can understand this. Everyone has a perspective based upon where you live, how you live, the way you were trained, taught, and educated, what you believe to be true. You have a perspective of how you see the world. I'm clear about that. And the way that you see the world is not 100% accurate. The way that you see the world is not how the world is. It's the way that you are. And based upon your experiences and trauma and drama and fight or flight with your parents, or being abandoned or being abused and molested and being sexually abused and being verbally abused, or maybe you grew up in a home that there was nothing but love and kindness. So the way that you were brought up, your upbringing, shaped and colors and filters the way that you see the world now. And there's a group of people out in the world that say, guns are bad. I can't believe this happens in the United States. From their perspective, that's what they see. And it is okay. From my perspective, the way that I see, I have a perspective. It might be true for me. It may not be absolute truth, but it's true for me, so I operate that it's true. And here's why I bring this podcast up, because, you got to understand, across the board, for business owners, for entrepreneurs, for people who are trying to make the world a better place, you understand that if you believe something, and it's a hill that you're willing to die on, and it's what you 100% stand by, stand your ground. Yes, go find other perspectives, but if you are strive to understand what's going on over there where you are not. And when I mean by that, let me give you an example. there's a bunch of people in Canada that posted on my buddy's post that I had commented on. And it was a picture of him, he's a good friend of mine. He's got 2 guns and he's like, I love my kids dearly. And these guns have never killed anyone. But know this, like, and he posted about guns. And I said, amen, because I agree with it. And a bunch of people are like, oh, is this your prayer to God? You believe and you worship guns? Like, it's so skewed. But see, I don't get caught up in it because what do I know? I know for a fact that these people, from where they stand, are looking at me and they're seeing me through a lens that it's obviously not my perspective and my lens. Therefore, they might look down on me. They might judge me. And guess what? That's okay. Because from where they stand, I might be someone who's selfish. That's okay. I know I'm not. From their perspective, I might be. And this is why you have to be very careful when making judgments. People from Canada, right? If you're from Canada, listen to this. There's people from Canada saying, we don't ever have this happen in Canada. What's wrong with United States? And from their perspective, from what they're seeing, this like one shooting, then they look at the other shootings and then they come up with their comments, right? Here's my perspective. Again, I'm not saying they're wrong. What I am saying is I just have a different perspective. Here's my perspective. I don't see people trying to flee into Canada. People are coming to the United States. Why? Because it's the land of opportunity. Capitalism allows people to show up broke with nothing, and through hard work, focus, grit, determination, and dedication, they can go build a 6, 7, 8, 9-figure empire. Are you kidding me? I'll take that all day. Now, do I want shootings to happen? No, not at all. But know this regarding guns. You try to enact these gun laws, which I 100% believe you should not just be able, anyone should not be able to go just get a gun. There ought to be some training. You get trained, you have to take all this training to drive a car, but you could walk in and buy a gun. So I 100% agree with that. At the same time, know this, evil people, they're not going to keep the laws of the land. Evil people are going to find, right? They're going to find the guns and do what they do. So the best way to stop evil people with guns is to have good people with guns. Now, again, that's my perspective. Why do I bring this up? Just understand this. Everyone walking around you has a perspective. They have certain worldview, self-view truths, opinions, and assumptions by which they view how the world operates. And it may not be the truth for you, but it might be relative truth for them. And there's got to just be a respect there. You look at in the political realm. Oh my gosh, it is a crazy world in politics. For the hardcore left, right wing. I mean, it's like these people, even though we're all human beings, they have such a different perspective. And I'm not going to dive into who's right and who's wrong. I'm just going to let you know, if you want to be happy, like I love what Byron Katie said, a wonderful author, highly recommend her book, Byron Katie. She has a book called Loving What Is. And she said there's 3 types of business. There's the business of like my business. Then there's God's business. And then there's other people's business. Let me say that again. My business, God's business, other people's business. And understand this, my business is what I can control. Other people's business is what they control. And God's business is stuff that's just way outside of the realm of, like, I have zero control about it. And I love this because you gotta understand, I'm not trying to go control God's business and other people's business. If I can live inside of my world, my business, what I control, if I can live inside of that space right there, guess what? I can be happy. It's the moment I try to go dictate what happens in God's business, I'm trying to control God's business or control other people's business where I get into trouble. And this is why I had a hard time when I shot this podcast the other day. When I was talking about, like, they're going to talk about what happened in Texas, and then they're going to do all kinds of posts and videos, and the White House, people are going to come out with all kinds of rhetoric, and nothing is going to happen. And I was getting pretty upset about that, right? I was just like totally getting worked up about it. But the truth is, if I want to stay happy, I don't have to get worked up about it. You know why? Because it's really none of my business. Now, yes, what's the truth and the facts about this? I can only control what I really can control, meaning I'm going to focus on my business. My business, right? Not God's business, not the White House. Now, yes, I'm going to speak up. I'm going to do my part 100%. Like, I believe people should speak up. I have no problem with people protesting, and I have no problem with people taking a stand for what they believe is the right thing to do. But what I know for certain, without a doubt, my job is to win the battle inside of my soul. My job is to win the war of my world, which is my home, my family, my marriage, my body, my business, my marketing, my sales, my teams, my organizations. That's my job. My job is not to go and raise a ruckus about what the White House is doing, because the fact is, the person inside of running the White House, in my opinion, he ain't even in charge. The people who put him there, they're in charge, but that's a whole nother conversation. I don't need to dive deep into that. I'm just letting you guys know the greatest thing that you can do is control what happens in your world. Control what happens in your heart. And are you willing to do that? Or are you willing to control what happens in your world? Are you willing to win inside of your game? Are you willing to do the work so that you can win your game, so that you can win your family, win your marriage, and win your business? And if you want to go get wrapped up in all the stuff going on out there, be smart about it. Make sure you can really make a difference. And yes, I do believe prayers can make a difference, because I am a praying man. I do believe being vocal and active on social media can, like, just to help people become more aware. The greatest thing that evil gets, the greatest way that evil wins, is for good men to say and do nothing. That's how evil wins. So, why am I shooting this podcast today? I'm not always right, and I have no problem admitting that. And I just want to let you guys know, do something that wins your battle. Do something to win the war inside of your soul. Do something to win your marriage. Do something to grow yourself, to build your business. Do something, and before you go try to change the world, change yourself. Then impact your marriage and your family. Show up as a greater parent. Show up as a more loving spouse. Show up as a more powerful leader. God bless us all. And we got to do our part. And it is my invitation to you, if you're listening to the podcast, make the change. What's the thing you got to do today to change your body? What's the one thing you got to do today to become more spiritually aligned? It's amazing. We're here in Missouri on vacation. And, right now, every morning, we wake up, we read a scripture out of the scriptures, we pray, we talk, we counsel, and boom, we go work out. At night, we're going to pray and say gratitude. I told my boys, I want this summer to be the best summer ever. And I painted a picture, and I kind of put this vision out there. Do the same for you. Do the same for you. Don't let the summer go by with no intention. Have some intention, have some clarity, have a purpose to get better this summer. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to the podcast. And until next time, I'm out. Have a wonderful day. Peace.
This is your daily revolution. Live in prosperity, we show you how to do it. There's no luck about it, we got the strategic blueprint. This is your daily revolution. You already know. And if you don't, then check my resume. Turning pressure into possibilities every day. Y'all can win and live our unique purpose. We change our mindsets and put the work in. This is your daily revolution. Daily revolution. Revolution. Your daily revolution podcast.